Hello, are you working? Okay. I have Asperger's and I get constant ideas in every direction on what I can do with myself while I'm alive. What I mean is, when I was little, I says, what am I going to do with my life? So I wrote down all the things I love to do, all the things I'm really good at, and then all the different ways I could get into those. And then I saw that they were in so many significantly different directions that I had to really plan on how I could really, get to know these things and how to organize all that. I'm glad I went to the military, and I went to the military to travel and to really discover that. So to this day, I mean, I'm out of the military. It's still really hard to really have a really good plan and stick with one thing, because honestly, I'm good at a lot of things and they go in all directions. And if I really look at life for what it is, there's possibility everywhere. You could take anything and make it better. You could take any group of people and lead them. You can do anything. Now, I'm saying that that's possible, but for an Aspie, that's very hard if you're an introvert and you don't have natural leadership skills. But looking at the world as a place of endless possibility, you can teach yourself those things, because you can ask yourself, what is a leader? And you can eventually unfold into that. But that's so much work, I mean, what I mean is, there is no telling, there's no telling. Anything is possible. Anything, if I want to be, I could teach myself to do anything. All equally will be hard. That's why you should lead with what your passions are and what your strengths are and what your interests are, because those are the things that naturally move you, and you have fuel naturally for those. I still have a hard time, but what we're doing now is we're not going to have a plan. We're going to present our best when we walk out the door. We're going to have the best interactions with reality and the people in front of me and the opportunities in front of me, and really insert quality breath into them. Now, this sounds very hard when you have things such as depression, anxiety, and anger problems. All of those will need to drop, and if you don't, I understand they're very hard to drop. And that is why you have to cooperate with your suffering and torture, because those will erode them away. Constant surrender. Do not give in to hopelessness. If you want to, you can, but just spend some time there and try to at least plan to get out eventually. I mean, I know what it's like to fight hell, but I just want to talk about my plan right now. Is I don't have a plan anymore. All things are possible, and I'm going to be what I am, which is a very insightful person, creative person. I have no bad intentions. I try to understand. I'm controlling my anger, but I need that to drop because it's getting in the way. And so that is my plan, is to let go of control and having a plan. We're going to see when we walk out the door what abundance is there. What abundance. This is very hard to understand. I sound poetic. But once you tap into what is intuitively, intrinsically, there's another I word for it, what is meant when people talk like this, there's something you tap into, you finally tap into, where the only words you can use are these poetic words. And I'll continue to document and explain. But right now the key is, when you have Asperger's and you have constant streams of information coming in all directions, that I'm just going to let it flow in and then out of me. And I'm going to set up my antenna to only experience the best that's out there. We will break this down and I'll help you out with it. I just really think the key is surrender. And see, it's very hard because I don't want you to think in extremes or in abstracts. Only where the problem is. Only where the problem is where the solutions will go. So we're just going to see, because last night I says, I'm not going to compare my life anymore with others. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm not going to mourn anymore that that's not happening. I'm going to see what happens in my life. You know, this is very hard to explain. Okay, so this morning they call and I get an offer to go to California as a temporary travel job as a sleep tech. Well, that's awesome. And now if I compare myself to my expectations and to other people, this might just be annoying. But if I allow this to bring a possible abundance, which could be anything out of my imagination, it might be something wonderful. Let's hope it's not like how it usually is when opportunities arise like this and then just poop out. But I'm changing my mind constantly and changing my state of being. So this is usually what brings change. I'll let you know how it goes.